After losing his job, my spouse wanted to take over my profitable business. He got a 500-mile job without telling me and used our house as security when I declined. Victor, 38M, and Karen, 32F, had been married for 7 years, although our history is longer. Meeting for the first time. A digital startup in San Francisco employed me as a junior marketing executive at 24. After graduating in marketing, I wanted to succeed in the fast-paced tech industry. Had a passion for creating a cutting-edge tool for small enterprises despite long hours and minimal resources. Victor joined Invento after Digital Force bought it. Victor was Digital Force CFO. He was affable and confident. I remember his arrival in our workplace, towering above us, nicely clothed and beaming. The agreement frightened everyone in my department, but Victor's charm made me like him right away. Victor and I collaborated for 6 months while our firms combined. I was impressed by his money knowledge, and he loved my app marketing advice. Our business cooperation became a friendship, then more serious. It was a hidden Italian eatery in North Beach where we met. It scared me to death, because I worried about issues if I dated someone in higher management and our ages differed. However, Victor's warmth and genuine interest in my life put me at ease. Victor became my biggest admirer as we became closer. He gave me additional work responsibility and taught me how to manage my business money. He helped me advance swiftly in marketing. After 2 years together, Victor proposed in Napa Valley on a weekend. The sun was setting in a magnificent pink and orange over undulating farmland. I answered yes immediately since it felt like a dream. After 6 months, we married in an elegant Sausalito wedding. With bay views. Our Digital Force co-workers celebrated with us, and I felt like I had it all: a good career, a loving marriage, and a bright future. Victor discussed starting a family after the wedding. He begged me to remain home with the kids and stated his money would allow me to quit. Not sure at first. I enjoyed my job and how it made me feel. But Victor described a lovely family life, complete with languid Sunday mornings with our future children, freedom to act and satisfaction from success. After months of consideration, I accepted, but I felt it would be short-lived. We started family planning when I left Digital Force. Our son Leo arrived after 9 months. I felt love. First held him, I felt nothing. Leo's first year was full of firsts, sleepless nights, and baby laughs. I embraced parenting with the same fervor I sometimes brought to work. After Leo grew up and learned to care for himself, I wanted something new. I missed the mental challenge of work, getting things done, and having coworkers. I returned to work after Leo turned 3 in preschool. I started selling handmade jewelry on Etsy. I started doing it for fun while Leo was in school. My notion continued improving, which surprised me. I struggled to keep up with 6 months' sales. I like the answer. Decided to elaborate. I hired 2 part-time artists to produce a professional business website. Vic initially liked my proposal. He even helped me set up a home office in our spare room. Faith in the business developed too. I started attending small business meetings and artist fairs. I met Sarah, 34F, a graphic artist who became a close friend and business partner during one of these parties. Sarah helped me promote my website and brand, growing my tiny jewelry business. Sarah and I helped the company grow swiftly, increasing business acumen. In less than 2 years, my internet business was booming, additional shops carried my designs, and I had 10 artists. We were making enough to survive. Though less than Victor's CFO pay, it's still a big part of our family budget. For a while, things went well and I liked my work. Victor was doing well at Digital Force and Leo was excelling at school. However, I managed to juggle motherhood and my newfound passion of business. But 8 months ago, everything changed. Victor told me he was fired, his pale face as he returned. Due to company restructuring, Victor lost his position after many years at Digital Force. Victor had always seemed confident and secure at work, so this surprised me. We initially attempted to stay positive. Victor called his large network and changed his resume to locate a job. I focused on building my business to make more money and feel less guilty about Victor's job loss. Over the first few months, Victor seemed content. He saw Leo more, coaching soccer and helping with chores. He also went on additional housework, cooking and cleaning most nights. Since this adjustment must be hard for him, I tried to remain positive and applauded his efforts. I witnessed Victor alter as weeks grew into months, and he had absolutely no work prospects. His shyness and quietness increased. He spent more time in his home office, apparently hunting for work. I usually found him staring at the computer screen, thinking. Victor started talking about my business. Early on, they were quiet. When I suggested a fresh order or a different craftsperson, they frowned. The comments became more blunt and harsh over time. Just jewelry. How hard could it be? He recalled a day when I wanted to tell him about a significant order from a new store. Luck to you. When I showed him our monthly sales, he warned, it won't last. His words wounded. I attempted to ignore them by assuming Victor was upset about his life. I advised him to keep looking and that the appropriate opportunity would arrive. They broke last week due to poor conditions. Victor proposed he handle my business funds. He added, I could really make it grow with my background in finance, hinting I couldn't handle this alone. It stunned me. Victor helped me set up my bookkeeping system, but I took financial management seminars and could operate the firm myself. I respectfully declined, saying I liked running my business and felt confident in my abilities. This caused a heated quarrel. Victor said that as the main provider, I was weakening him and not believing him. He left swiftly and remained with his brother for 2 days. After returning, he apologized and things were fine for a few days. I heard him talking on the phone yesterday. My company investment options. He proposed using our savings to expand my business without my consent. When I challenged him, he got upset. He claimed that as my spouse, he might influence my business decisions. I was asked who owned the. I told him I did business. I decide everything. Vic dropped the major hint. He wants me to register him as a co-owner of the company. For our family safety, he says. I suppose he's trying to take over something I established from start. A conundrum. Because I adore Victor, I want our marriage to work. Since our brief relationship began, we faced many hurdles, including parenting. He is my partner, best friend, and rock. It hurts to think this could terminate our relationship. However, I'm pleased. The business I built. I use it to produce money, but it also demonstrates my hard work, creativity, and personal growth. When someone ignores me, giving up authority seems awful. How we got here often occupies my nighttime thoughts. Who shifted from pushing me to shoot for the heavens to being terrified of my success? Can we stay married without me giving up my freedom and my hard-earned business? Like you, I worry about Leo. His age allows him to understand Victor and my anger, even if we attempt to keep him out of our disputes. This will affect his life. How? Am I selfish for rejecting Victor's requests for family harmony? I propose couples therapy, but Victor might not agree. Our troubles and family issues have always been kept private by him. The road has split, so I don't know which way to go. Am I focused too much on myself? Should I give Victor greater relationship responsibility? Is it right to segregate my work? I appreciate any assistance. Change 1. 3 weeks since my previous post. I appreciate everyone's suggestions and support. Your comments gave me a lot to think about and clarified things. After my last post, I wanted to talk to Victor truthfully about our relationship and my employment. It took me a few days to compose my ideas so my feelings wouldn't interfere with our chat. Several notable. I listed down crucial topics to discuss. One night, I sat Victor in the living room after Leo gone to bed. I told him I loved our family and marriage first. Then I informed him his recent actions were making me feel horrible. I complained that he had criticized my firm and that his attempt to establish authority had made me feel inferior. I suggested consulting a marriage psychologist. I stated that we needed a neutral third party to resolve our issues and restore trust and respect that had been eroding for months. Victor's response disappointed me. He became angry and irritated instead of listening or discussing our issues. He had said harsh things such that he regretted pushing me to be a stay-at-home mom because it had made me pampered and lazy. He uttered harsh things that startled me. Not my favorite or familiar winner. As I sat there trying to understand, he kept talking. He recounted his sacrifices for our family. He told me I wasn't grateful for his help and that he had been the main provider until recently. When the fight escalated, we both regretted our hasty comments. Victor stomped out of the house and wanted time to cool himself. It was 2 weeks prior. Since then, Victor has lived with his parents. I couldn't talk to him initially. I was too upset and angry. But as time went on, I worried. We had never been that silent since marriage. My split provided me time to reflect on our relationship and communicate to close friends. My friend Sarah helped a lot. She visited them several times, provided food, and listened. Victor's behavior during one of these chats with Sarah raised several red lights. Sarah, I remembered Victor managing other aspects of our relationship. He warned me not to contact former co-workers when I began my own firm. Leo would need time to adjust, and his decisions about Leo's education, such what preschool he should attend without asking. After these reminders, I considered other aspects of our relationship. Have I overlooked these issues because I was dreaming of a flawless life? Every alarming sight or sound increased my worries. I checked our books while running my business. I discovered that Victor had been withdrawing large amounts from our shared savings account for 3 months. His unemployment term matched his withdrawal amount, although it was far more than we spend. I called him about it, but he said it was for investments, so don't worry. After learning this, I'm not sure Victor can handle our family or business's money. Rather than caring about our family, he wants to be in my business for control. Because I felt helpless and didn't know what to do, I consulted a lawyer to learn my options and safeguard my business. The lawyer told me to separate our funds immediately and write down anything I tell Victor concerning money or business. She advised me to consider a post-nuptial agreement in case Victor and I reunite after the wedding. Victor has been calling and texting since, switching between accusations and lies. He misses us and wants to go home, but then he says I shoved him away. In his last contact, he offers marriage counseling if I stop discussing my business with him. It seems unfair to offer anything with conditions, and I don't know what to say. I'm trying to keep Leo calm throughout this. He wonders why his dad isn't home. I hate seeing him so foolish and enraged. Despite the difficulty, I'm trying to maintain his schedule. My parents have been my strongest supporters throughout this process, and I want to have him spend more time with them. In order to handle the tension, I'm putting all of energy into work. While developing our autumn line, the creative process has been refreshing. My coworkers are tolerant and helpful when I have off-duty activities. My marriage's future worries me and stresses me out. I want to stay with Victor for Leo's sake. I remember our fun dates, Victor's pleasure at Leo's birth, and his early support of my business. However, this friendship may not be as healthy as I imagined. My son and business are my daily priorities. I'm also going to therapy alone to make sense of it all. It's changing my perspective and helping me process my emotions, even. Though I don't know what will happen, I must stay strong for Leo and myself. I'll report back when I know more. Thank you again for your assistance and advice. You don't understand its importance. Update to another month has brought unexpected changes. I apologize for the delay in updating. Much has transpired, and I needed time to process. Despite my suffering, my business has done nicely. We sell a lot of ethically collected gemstone jewelry, which is popular. Our online presence has expanded to include a modest storefront. Space is limited in a bustling shopping mall center, but it's mine, and seeing my art in a storefront is a dream. This accomplishment brought relief during a difficult period. Now things get tough. After weeks of negotiations, Victor accepted to marriage treatment without conditions. We met with a couples therapist after locating one. I was afraid and hopeful at my first visit. Dr. Anderson was kind and skilled. She began by asking us to detail what prompted our support request. I addressed Victor's job loss issues in my response. Applied to my company. Victor complained that he was still unemployed and overlooked in our marriage. The following 3 meetings examined our concerns. Dr. Anderson identified our problem-causing communication habits. Victor's criticism of my business affected her, and he felt excluded since I didn't include him. Expressing our feelings without blaming others and listening skills were practiced. Hope was initially there. Victor appeared attentive and in agreement with some of his actions. He apologized and offered to support my business more. I also pledged to understand his emotional anguish at being unemployed. On our 4th encounter, something completely altered the outcome. Dr. Anderson invited us to discuss our future goals as a partnership and individuals. I wanted to expand my business nationwide and even worldwide. I also hoped Victor would find a pleasant job and our family would reunite. Victor paused before dropping a bomb. He claimed to be almost 500 kilometers away. The startling part: he took the job without consulting me. It surprised me. Victor believed his choice was best for our family and that I would move. He stated I could easily shift my business and that this was his time to lead again. Hurt and furious. Victor made a huge decision without asking me and made me feel like Leo's safety and my business weren't essential. Our counselor sought reconciliation. After the lesson, we were upset and didn't know what to do. In the following days, Victor and I had difficult conversations. He believed moving was best for our family and that my resistance was selfish. I refused, stating it wasn't an easy or rapid option and that I wouldn't change our life, especially Leo's, or ruin my business. Victor told me something during one of these chats that made me chilly immediately. He had started looking at properties in the new region and put down a deposit to ensure Leo would attend a reputable school. He refused to explain where the money came from. I had to make the agonizing decision to investigate our finances. This stunned me to the core. Victor took large amounts of money from our joint account and borrowed against our house without my consent. Victor was arrogant and desperate when I informed him. He assured us he has done everything possible to improve our future. But I couldn't shake the sensation that the story was more. Now I must make tough choices. Victor is urging me to accept because this is our last chance to mend our marriage. I feel like too much trust has been violated, for some reason. After our last. My lawyer and I are investigating Victor's financial operations for legality. I consider what life without Leo might be like. I've learned the value of mental and financial independence from the whole thing. Many opportunities have come to me because of my work, which I appreciate. I'll report again when I decide. Since my son, myself, and my business are secure, I'm just trying to get through this challenging scenario. I made some important decisions since my last post 3 months ago. Thank you to everyone who advised and helped me through this difficult time. I've chosen to divorce after much consideration and professional advice. Choosing was difficult, but I think this is best for Leo and me. It was the final straw when I discovered Victor's true motivation for moving. The employment offer was an opportunity to do business with Mark, an old college acquaintance. They wanted to launch a tech consulting firm. Victor borrowed a lot of our money for this company without telling me. Finally, Victor broke down and admitted it when I told him. He felt insecure because of my success. He utilized it to enhance his confidence. Even after saying he felt horrible about what he did, he's still attempting to convince me to move and help him with his new project would benefit our family. I knew our relationship was finished then. Victor's actions revealed he forgot me, my business, and our marriage. Divorce has been difficult. I feel sorry about our first date, wedding, and Leo's birth because we lost them. I know I'm on the correct track when I think about Victor's recent actions. We live apart. Trying to explain things to Leo has been difficult. He frequently asks why his dad is dead. If it was his fault. I hate seeing him struggle. To help him adjust, we have him consult a child counselor. Good news, my business is thriving. Due to the popularity of the new jewel line, we wish to create another store close. To navigate this new era and ensure Leo and I's financial security, I engaged a financial counselor. In addition, I'm buying Victor's part of our house so Leo and I may reside somewhere familiar. Interestingly, my in-laws offered to help. They said us that they didn't like Victor's behavior and wanted to stay in touch. Visiting Leo regularly has helped during this shift. Vic left and moved in with Mark to establish a business. His requests for a second opportunity and promises to improve have been heard, but I will not reconsider. My partner should embrace my achievement and support me, not be afraid of it. This taught me a lot about independence, self-worth, and being honest with your partner. I sometimes wish my marriage was finished, but I'm pleased about Leo and my plans. I want to improve, be a better mother, and build my business. Sarah, my friend, has helped me through everything. She usually brings a bottle of wine after Leo goes to bed to talk or just relax. Still, harsh times lie ahead. Splitting will take time. I also know Leo will struggle with our new family arrangement. I'm resolved to move on with confidence and hope.